while we're speaking of coaches and on the topic of coaches, general managers, etc., I thought it'd be a fun exercise for us to go back to the Bull. I know you don't like the word modern day, modern era, but 99
No, that's fine. I was making fun of you because usually when people talk about modern era, it's like since the 1950s or since the 1960s. For you, it's since 1999.
Yes.
It's the modern
since
era.
99, looking at all the coaches and front office personnel who have worked for the Cleveland Browns, I thought we'd go together. And I got a point I want to make with this at the end. I want to see if you guys come to the same conclusion I did. But we're going to create the ultimate Browns coaching staff / general manager.
I bet we all have the same guy. I bet you my special teams coach is different.
You guys can use anyone who coached for the Browns in any position you want.
I guarantee you mine's different.
It's 99 and on.
Yeah.
But you can mix and match if you want to say, for example, Freddie Kitchens should be your OC. He could be that, even though he was
I won't be saying
coach.
Stick
so,
yourself.
with that, let's start with the head coach.
Freddie.
Of all the guys.
Stop it. Freddie Kitchens. Stop it.
Who do you want as your head coach?
You need to cut it out.
Freddie
Freddie
Kitchens.
Kitchens.
Pounding
the table.
By the way, Freddie Kitchens, Mike, I don't know if you
out.
knew that.
Oh,
no,
he was the OC.
He was the OC.
Yeah, it was a bad
briefly.
example.
I mean, if you're going to campaign for Philip Walker.
Well, you want to start for head coach, and you don't want to start you don't want to build up. You want to start right with the head coach.
You start wherever you want. What do you want to start, Bull?
Let's start. All right, well, you brought. Let's do head coach. I mean, is there any debate against Stefanski?
Freddie Kitchens. Don't listen to this man. This man is a troll. Mike Pettin. You know what? I think Mike.
I wish they would.
Mike Pettin, 100% got a raw deal, and he is the second. I think the second best coach.
I agree with that. You know what? I think Mike Pettin has career-long PTSD from being
100%.
He wants no part of head coaching ever
100%.
again. It was so bad here. It's too bad because I really liked him.
And he wasn't a good head coach, but I actually think Pat Shurmur's a good coach. He's just not a head coach.
He's not a head coach. Yeah. I mean, Stefanski's the head coach, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What else could you
see if we all come to the same conclusion with the point I wanted to make. So Stefanski's the head coach. Offensive coordinator. Where do you guys want to go?
Kyle Shanahan.
This may take 5 minutes, and that's fine.
Yeah.
No, we'll have some. I think now is where we'll split.
Okay.
Those were pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think those were easy.
Okay.
You could make a case for Shurmur as OC, probably, maybe.
Yeah, but come on now.
But we're judging them based on their time in Cleveland.
Well.
Which is weird, but all right, go ahead.
As DC, where do you want to go?
There's like 3 or 4 guys.
Jim or Romeo?
I picked Schwartz. That's my.
I got Jim or Romeo.
I mean, you got to get off the fence there, Tyvis.
I know. But I love Romeo, though. Romeo should have stayed head coach.
Honestly, like
Greg Williams.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a candidate. Greg Williams was like Butch Davis is a DC. I think Butch is a DC.
Mouth.
GW.
Well, he wouldn't be my number one, but he's in the.
I played for G-Dub, for OTA.
Romeo Crennel.
It's a lot of good. Listen,
Eric
defense
Mangini?
was pretty good around here for like many years.
Did they ever? Listen.
But Jim Schwartz was about to break records last year.
I mean, it ended badly, certainly.
It did.
But they went from being a terrible defense the year before to one of the best in the league last year.
But they were always great the last 6 games under Joe Woods.
I would, to be fair to these other guys, Jim Schwartz probably had more talent to work with than a lot of these other guys.
For sure.
Yes.
100%.
But I'm still voting for Schwartz, so you guys got to go see what your votes are. We'll see what we end up with.
The G-Dub thing that messed me up, that's because I got personal ties there.
I mean, I think Butch Davis would be a really good defensive coordinator.
So it's on me now.
Well, no, because if you pick someone else,
if you pick a third person, then they can break the tie.
Earl will be the tiebreaker.
Well, I don't want to do that.
G. Bush called in and said he wants Joe Woods. He texted
I would
Mike.
actually take Romeo Crennel.
Okay.
I'd take Romeo.
So
Why
one for
would
Jim,
you
one for
say
Romeo.
that?
I think he's
Tyvis
really
Powell.
good.
No, I was in the fence here.
I think he was really good as a DC.
I was literally sitting on the fence of these 2 names.
Boy.
Jim Schwartz and
And
Romeo.
Romeo.
That's
Oh,
the first
there you
2 names
go.
It's
I
on
said.
you.
There you
All
go.
the pressure's on.
Greg Williams.
Three-way tie. Tyvis didn't want the pressure.
Earl, you're the tiebreaker. If you had to pick one DC for the Browns, you have Jim Schwartz, Romeo Crennel, or Greg Williams. Who's your tiebreaker here? Earl's thinking.
Jim Schwartz.
Schwartz. You can't argue it.
It's no way you can argue
any of those
it.
3 would be fine.
All right, so Schwartz it is. Earl breaks the tie.
I think I know where Mike's going with this.
That they
Special
coaching
teams
staff right
coordinator.
now is
Yeah.
probably the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
That's what
I will
we're
not
going.
reveal my point till we are concluded with
I
this
mean, it
exercise.
seems pretty obvious what your point is. We
Special
knew it
teams
before
coordinator.
the project started. But
Ray Farmer.
For special
For special
teams?
teams? You know what? I'm going to throw a wrinkle. Eric Mangini.
Oh.
He was such
Was
an
he a-
attention to detail guy.
He was a special team?
No, but I think he'd
Oh,
be a
you
phenomenal.
just putting him there.
He would be a phenomenal special
I'm
teams
going,
coach.
and what's his name? Bubba Ventrone's done a nice job, and
Yeah.
he's a good choice. But I'm going with a guy who was here and survived a lot of different regimes, Chris Tabor.
Yeah.
He survived, I think, 3 or 4 regimes.
Hey, I like Chris.
And when the Browns sucked year after year, there were many years during his time that they actually were good on special teams and terrible at everything else.
Hey, I like Chris.
And I know he listened to my show on the radio because he had told me that, so I like him.
I like Chris,
I'm sucking
man.
up.
Chris
Chris
is there-
Tabor, baby.
Chris
He's
is
been
there
a special
for,
teams coach forever.
He was there when I did my little OTAs with the Browns. Real funny dude. Real funny guy.
That's my vote, Chris Tabor.
So Tabor, we have one for Mangini. Tyvis?
Okay, you threw me off with the Mangini.
Let's
thing.
go,
Like,
Tyvis.
why would you do
Let's
that?
go.
I think
What do
he
you
was an
got?
excellent
I'll
coach.
take Chris. I'll take Chris.
Oh,
All right.
Chris Tabor. We all left Bubba Ventrone out.
No, it's just because I don't. Even though he's done a really good job in the kick, I'm a return guy. I need to see a big return.
Yeah. All right. Finally, the GM.
This is a tough one.
I don't think it's tough at all.
That
It's
was
Andrew
sarcasm.
Berry.
That
And
was
I don't.
very sarcastic.
And I think Andrew Berry has been
Who was
above
before
average.
Andrew Berry?
Not any better than that.
John
but
Dorsey?
Dorsey.
I mean, Dorsey.
Dorsey's in the conversation.
Yeah, I'm about to say Dorsey was not bad.
Although he picked Baker, and that's a
Sashi
that was a miss.
that's a miss.
I mean, and in fairness, Baker should have always turned out to be what he was last year, or maybe not quite. Maybe somewhere around.
No, I
there.
think last year's about what he is.
He's a decent NFL quarterback,
Yeah.
but you're not winning a Super Bowl.
But who of that class did he? I mean, Josh was the miss. Josh Allen was
well,
the
and
pick.
Lamar Jackson.
And Lamar.
Sashi Brown, because he gave me an OTA's job, so
Sashi Brown was awful.
that's my pick. He hired me.
I think Phil Savage was pretty good, but he's not better than where they're at now.
Yeah.
So I would go. I'll say AB. I do think that there's other guys you can have in that discussion, but I would say AB.
Yeah, Andrew Berry it is.
So with 60% of the current regime on your 99 and on, I think it's safe to say the Browns are in pretty damn good hands right now from the front office
certainly.
coaching perspective.
Certainly. And by next year, Bubba Ventrone could easily be on that list. And
And maybe Ken Dorsey.
certainly. That's possible.
I would be shocked. But
Yeah, I can't imagine. No, you know what? There's no chance.
Wait a minute. No, that's
Kyle
wait.
Shanahan. I'm not
Kyle
putting Ken
Shanahan.
Dorsey
Yeah,
with Kyle
you not.
Shanahan.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
that ain't happening.
you ain't. Yeah,
But
never mind.
it could improve to 4 out of 5 next
Never
year.
mind. That's
No
blasphemy.
defensive line coach. Do you want us to do that?
If you really want to go that deep, all I know is for
Defensive line coach. Well, G. Bush said it's only putting Cones out, so I'm going to vote for G. Bush as the defensive line coach.
and when we're talking about GM interns, I'd vote DeQuell. I refuse to hear another argument for anyone on a GM intern other than DeQuell.
GM interns?
GM intern.
Oh, yeah, okay.
DeQuell Jackson, that's it.
DeQuell.
Nope. I'm not giving it to him. Nope.
Whoa.
Pause.